Welcome to Networking with Nathaniel, a conversational podcast where I get to usually, and we'll see if I can change that here in a second, talk to entrepreneurs, real estate investors, business owners who are making waves in their industries. I am Nathaniel Hovsepian, host of Networking with Nathaniel, and you can see that I am in a new place. Ooh, I can say that I did get to talk to a guest because I see our guest today has just arrived with his camera on, no less, the camera guy of all things. I'm Nathaniel Hovsepian, host of Networking with Nathaniel. I am a real estate investor, a health and wellness coach for busy dads. More importantly, I am a husband and a father, family first, always over here. This show is not about me, though. It's about the amazing guests that I get to have on and talk to about their journeys. They share their successes, they share their struggles, what's working, what's not working, and how we can all learn and grow together. If this is your first time here, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future episodes and any other content that is getting dropped on this channel. Hit the like button so we can reach more people. Without further ado, welcome to Networking with Nathaniel. Ooh, I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly. Nate LaBrusciano.
Excellent.
Awesome. Appreciate you being here, bud. I'm glad that we got the camera figured out.
Yes.
A line right across the middle of it.
What's that? Yeah. It's streaming from my cinema camera.
Okay, you got it figured out.
Yes. Half of the job of any camera operator, editor, is IT, and it's something you don't expect when you pick up a camera. You're like, yeah, let me go film something. It's a lot of IT work.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you getting it all figured out. I know we were just a few minutes past. The audience was waiting very patiently. We'll have a post to post. Hey, we're live here on Networking with Nathaniel on the YouTube channel. So give everybody, even myself, I know I mentioned in one of my posts that you are a founding father in the Fit Fatherhood group.
Yes.
So, but we have not actually spoken before. We've done a lot of messaging, but we haven't actually spoken. So would you just introduce yourself really quick? What are you up to? What's keeping you busy during the day?
Sure. So my name's Nate LaBrusciano. I'm impressed that you got the last name correctly because not many people do. I am a video producer. I have my own small video production company right outside of Philadelphia called Shooting Break Productions. I've been in video production for 11 years now. Worked in e-commerce, worked for automotive, worked in health and fitness, worked for beer. Now I'm working for myself.
Yes.
It's been a fun journey that has kind of zigged and zagged and required a lot of learning, but it's been fun nonetheless. Currently, like I said, I'm doing my own thing, Shooting Break Productions. Been at it for, I would say, a year full time. A little bit before that, which we'll probably talk about or might talk about a little bit, is I lost a job, started to do my own thing, got hurt, used that time while hurt to kind of develop somewhat of a strategy. And then once I was recovered enough, I ran with what I figured out and am still figuring out. But, I'm doing my thing. And as you mentioned, I joined the Fit Fatherhood group thanks to Zach Bush. He invited me to do it. And it's a great group of guys because I'm a father of a 5.5-week-old now, our first one, and it's been a learning experience to say the least because my wife and I have a saying, like, and she was taught this: you want to, with your partner, you want to figure out if you can raise a dog together, because if you can raise a dog, you can raise a kid. Raising a dog, you at least get some feedback from the dog. The kid, and as adorable as it is, they just stare at you.
Yeah.
They're like looking at you, can't really see you yet.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of learning all the cues that they're giving.
Right.
So that has taken up a lot of my time since our daughter's been born.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to to learn about what you've been doing to juggle the two, but let's put that on the back burner for now because I'm more curious. When did you lose this job that kind of made you go, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to kind of seek out my own journey here?
So I've always had the idea of wanting my own business in some capacity. I come from a family of entrepreneurial spirits. My parents are in real estate. Funny enough that you're in real estate, but
Yeah.
my parents are in real estate and they've been in real estate as long as I can remember. Uh, they started from nothing in the real estate realm, built up to where they are now, which I admire the hard work and the amount of time and effort that they put into what they've done. My sister works for them, and in real estate, you have to be entrepreneurial. My brother owns a roofing business here that is very successful. Again, entrepreneurial spirit. He didn't want to work for anybody else, so he worked for himself. And I'm doing the same thing, just in a different capacity. So I always knew that I wanted to be my own boss so that I could employ people that I know, people that I am friends with, that I know that are great at what they do, but also to help other people. I was working in marketing for a brewery, and I got to learn what creative differences meant with the owner. Um, Lost my job. Happened to be on my wife's birthday, so happy birthday to her.
Wow.
But I had already previously talked with her about like, hey, this is kind of my exit strategy. This is where I want to go. She's like, cool, let's build it up. Let's get you there, and then you can go with it. So I was kind of like already in progress. I was in marketing with a heavy
Okay.
focus on photo and video, uh, which is what I do. Mostly video. Photo, just if somebody asks me, I had a photo shoot yesterday for a magazine cover, which was fun, but it's not my bread and butter. I'm partnered with plenty of photographers who can also do that. But storytelling is where I felt like where I feel like I really excel, getting the story out of businesses, out of people, to really like showcase what their unique value is, because you can't just say, hey, I sell X, Y, and Z. You have to have some type of meaning behind it. Otherwise, people are going to see right through you, like, oh, it's a money grab. Bye.
What
Yeah.
you mentioned a handful of industries that you've worked in. I've seen some of your like CrossFit, your gym workout videos. What do you have a typical client that comes to you and is looking for this kind of thing?
It's kind of all over right now. My
Okay.
current client lists include a gym, which is no surprise for me because I've been in CrossFit for 10 years this year.
Yeah.
So I have a client who's a gym, a client who is a nonprofit, a client who is a law office, a roofing company, a gardener who is he's starting his own YouTube channel. He's very much a homesteader, and agriculture is big for myself. So as many people as I can help with gardening and improving like food knowledge at baseline, I'm happy to help with that. Uh, Another gardening company, and then a home organization person. That is my current client list.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say it's kind of spread without.
Yeah.
The important thing is that I believe in your message, and that
Okay.
I find that there's nobody other than myself to be able to help share your message.
It sounds like the way you're using client that this is an ongoing thing. It's not just I hire you to come do an ad, or am I misunderstanding?
Some of it is retainer work for social media.
Okay.
Other is sales ads, brand videos. I'm doing a video for an award ceremony. and then mostly social right now as I continue to build out.
Okay. And what is kind of walk me through the process a little bit? I've seen your work. I'm interested in working with you. What does that all look like?
So I like to have a conversation with anybody who reaches out, understand exactly kind of where they're going with their video. If they come to me and say, "Hey, I have this cool idea for a video," I love it. It's a lot of fun. But how's it going to help you? If
Mm,
it's a brand story or brand film that really gets in deep about who the organization is, why they do what they do, and how they impact the community that they serve. Uh, is that going on your website? Awesome. Do you get traffic to your website? I have enough knowledge in marketing to ask those questions.
okay.
Uh, and if they don't or they're not sure, I have contacts so I can say, hey, can you do an SEO report on this organization? And if they're like, hey, yeah, they actually look pretty cool, then all right, I'm happy to work with you. If they are confident in that have enough traffic to their site, they have enough whatever it is on their site that warrants having a video, I'm all on board. The only thing I won't do is like, hey, come in and get drunk. Like if it's a brewery, I won't tell people to come in and get drunk. I won't support organizations who, at the core of their mission, is greed or uh, uh, anything of that nature. Just because, for me, that doesn't feel right.
Right.
Um, I'm all for enjoying beer. I'm all for exercising. I'm all for enjoying a delicious plate of tiramisu because it's never just a slice for me. The tiramisu, it is like a full thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
Um, but I'm all for that in appropriate amounts. But I've been
Right.
approached with like, hey, we need to do X, Y, Z, and I've realized that it's kind of shady what's going on. And it's like, I'm all right.
Yeah. That's a good place to be, mindset wise and business wise, is that it's a place of abundance, right? I can say no to things that don't align with me. I'm going through a speech crafting, doing a 10-minute speech, and it's been a lot of kind of diving into myself, my journey, my feelings, my thoughts. And I can imagine, as I'm telling my story a little bit, if you're not bought into the mission and the value that this company is bringing, it's going to be hard for you to tell their story, right? And so I love that these are things that you're thinking about and that you're listening to and kind of getting in, and also that you're willing to say no if you don't think that you're able to help them accomplish the goal that I'm not just here to take your money and make you a cool looking video. I want to make sure that the video is leading you to the results that you're after. Now,
Correct.
I do have a question following that statement, but before I get to that, if you're a busy dad or you know one that is looking to focus on their health and their wellness, the Fit Fatherhood community might be just for you. It's said that when we have our health, it frees us up to have many, many goals, but when we don't, we only focus on the one. So we're focused on keeping our health and wellness as a top priority in Fit Fatherhood. We've built this community of busy dads, all like-minded, looking to grow and flourish and be great examples for our families of what health and wellness looks like. So if that's you, or you know somebody who that might be for, follow the link in the description and come join the Fit Fatherhood Facebook group today. Let's get back to the show. So my question is, shameless plug. Are you, one, how are you finding these clients, or how are they finding you currently? And are they just local to you, Philly area, greater Philly area, or are you kind of going wherever the clients need it?
I will go wherever the clients need it, but most of my clients as of right now are Philly local.
Okay.
A lot of my clients came from my time in CrossFit as a coach
Okay.
and content manager. I think it's only 2 of them, but everything else has come through networking or cold outreach. I have done a ton of networking over the last year or so once I figured out what it was. Because like everything that you're taught in, I went to school for film and TV production. I can do everything technical with film and TV. They didn't teach you about business. They didn't teach you about networking. That's a whole different language.
Yeah.
So last year I joined. I'm in a BNI. I'm in the Greater Montgomery Chamber of Commerce. I'm in the Indian Valley Chamber of Commerce, and then a few other smaller networking groups. And the joy for me has been able to connect people. Like, I obviously I need to make money to help more people, but I love being able to connect people within my area. It's like, oh, somebody just had a house fire. This insurance adjuster, like usually they get a bad rap, but I know this guy very well, and he's a very genuine guy, and I'm happy to, like, when he sees somebody in need, he's going to help. So I can say, hey, give him a call. Or, this plumber will come out and like they will give you an honest job. I had a plumber come out to my house before for a leak. They quoted me $700. I ended up fixing it for $4. The convenience I would have paid $100 for, but because they quoted $700, like I don't trust plumbers that easily. I don't trust any kind of contractor that easy. So the fact that I got to know people who are reputable, who I can say, hey, this person's an honest person, they're an honest business, I can recommend you and help other people out with things that aren't even related to video, and even grow businesses. One of the organizations I'm in, the Greater Montgomery Chamber of Commerce, they asked me to join the Young Professionals Committee this year. And everything that we do is just trying to elevate people and young professionals. I'm 34. Yeah, I'm 34. I always have to think about that.
Yeah, do the math.
I'm 34. And it's like trying to help people my age and a little bit younger, like to develop skills that you don't know that you need until you're in a position. And it's been wonderful to be able to contribute to that. And then also we're doing a cooking event coming up called Cooking for a Cause, where we're raising money for 5 different local charities. And it's like,
okay,
I'm all for that. It's getting my name out there as well as my business, but also more importantly, it's you get to help people in your community.
Yeah.
What more could you want?
Yeah. That last bit is a reason. So just a little backstory is all of last year and leading up into a few months ago, we were buying houses across the country, and some things happened. I don't need to go into too much details because the show is about the guests, not me. We pulled back and we're just doing deals here now locally. And it's like we're in a great market and we know the area and we have a bunch of people in the area that we like to work with and we want to do more with. And why the heck aren't we going to raise up this area here locally, at least while we're here, which we have no plans of leaving. And so it's the kind of the same thing is like, let's all lift up and grow together. We do so much virtually now on social media, right? And on Zooms and Google Meet and StreamYard when your camera's working, that being able to go and walk into the Chamber of Commerce meeting and be chest to chest and physically in the space with each other is super valuable. And so I like that you're kind of prioritizing that. You're not kind of prioritizing it. You are prioritizing it. And then, you mentioned the connecting pieces in the community, the real estate communities I'm in, we call them connectors, and you can make money in real estate as a connector. You have, somebody that has, they had fire damage to their house or whatever damage to their house, and you connect them to an insurance adjuster and you figure out how to kind of wedge yourself into the space to make money off of, right? A lot of the times that's, hey, a wholesaler has a deal but can't find a buyer. I know a buyer who wants to buy that deal. How can we work together? I'm going to connect the two of you. I've always been of the, and maybe to a little bit of detriment in my business, is just like, let me just connect you. I- you know, I'm okay with that. That's not, connecting is not my focus. So when I see two people that can be connected, I'm like, it's more time for me to figure out how to make the connection, just connect, so I love that. What in your short time as an entrepreneur so far, do you have any huge lessons that you've learned, maybe even lessons that you learned before actually becoming an entrepreneur, that you were able to take into your entrepreneurial journey?
I mean, a lot of just life in general. It's just one lesson after the other. The thing for me, it's kind of twofold. There's an analogy that I gave during a network education piece last year in one of my networking meetings. It was about how when you're growing hops, the first year, don't expect anything. Hop vines, all they're doing that first year is establishing the roots.
Mm.
Second year, you probably get 50 to 75% of your yield. By third year, you're probably getting, depending on the soil and a few other contributing factors, saying best case scenario, third year, you're getting a full hop harvest.
Interesting.
And that's the same thing when you're approaching a business.
Yeah.
When you're starting out with yourself, it's like, yes, I would love to have last year be an immediate 7-figure year. Would be awesome. I don't expect that.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about that, is like the more like I just want to set those roots, because down the line, a strong foothold is going to significantly just improve my business and who I am as a person and who I can help. And then so that for me has been the basis of everything that I've done over the last year and a half. And then recently, the biggest thing that I learned, and this is after having a kid, is like I need to be more forgiving with myself. I need to not necessarily hold myself to too high of standards, but understand where I am and where those standards may lie, and know that like, okay, I might not be able to obtain this level of success yet, but here are these stepping stones to try and achieve that. Yeah. If I jump over one, cool. But I don't expect to, because I would rather be surprised. So just be more patient with myself and more forgiving if I don't hit a goal that I wanted to hit.
I know we've talked about this. You and I have messaged it before, but it does get better. You're in the like thick of it right now with the 5-week-old, and still early enough in your business and your entrepreneurship that it is tough sometimes to give ourselves that grace that, hey, I was up till 3 last night taking care of the baby. Maybe pushing my alarm till 7 is okay, right? And so just give yourself the pat on the back. And it's been a while since we've done it on Networking with Nathaniel, but you're doing fantastic, dude. Yeah. We do it when we were told to do that when you're kids. You did a great job on your tests. Pat yourself on the back. And then somewhere along the line, we get rid of that and stop giving ourselves credit and grace and things like that. And we need to do more of it, because it's very helpful. It boosts our mood. You mentioned a couple things there that I thought were wise, at the very least. The delayed gratification of entrepreneurship. I talk about it with real estate all the time, but it goes for any journey that you're on, is that you can come in and get a deal done and make a huge fat check within your first week. It could be the very first call you make that you make a $10,000 assignment fee, but more likely it's going to be 6 months before you get a deal done, 3 to 6 months. Are you okay with putting in the work and not seeing those results right away and just enjoying the process and enjoying the journey? Because if you can't say yes to that, you might not want to get started, because you'll just be kind of wasting your time and wasting your mental energy and getting frustrated. Mm-hmm. So I love that. I'm reminded of the it's a picture of like an iceberg, and you see, oh, all these success, time, freedom, money, but then underneath the water, the part that you don't see is all the toil and the things that got into getting that iceberg poked up out of the water. And you use the analogy of the hops, which is great because it is that farmer mentality. I'm sowing seeds now, and I'm going to see the fruits of this labor later.
Yeah.
And so I love that. And then the abundance mindset again. You're just all in that. So from, I don't know where I want to go here. Let's keep it on the business right now.
Yeah.
What are your, let's say, 12-month goals right now? And I know that within the last couple months, things may have adjusted a little bit, and they're going to adjust within the next 3 to 6 months even more. But if you had to say, this is my 12-month target right now, where are you looking to get to?
I have a financial figure that I want to hit. I would like to surpass billing 7 figures. Not necessarily that. Now that doesn't all mean it goes to me because I have teams that I pay for and all that. But I would love to do that. But I want to work with larger organizations to share their story, to just be able to work with more people that actually care about what they do. From a business standpoint, I would love to have a couple of businesses on retainer from we'll film testimonials 1 month, we'll do training videos 1 month, we'll do HR recruiting videos 1 month, and things of that nature, because that is out there. I just haven't gone for it yet.
Okay.
Because I recognized very early I will become the cog in my own system, because I like to have a touch point, and I know that's not always a good thing as you want to grow. But at the point of where I am is I have that capability to some extent. But I would love to be able to have like a couple of people on retainer that's not social media. I would love to be able to have like 1 or 2 employees where I can have a client relations manager, and they will manage the touch points after I have them sign the contract. Somebody I know plenty of people are more than capable of managing projects, and they can do that, and then maybe an editor on staff or something like that.
Okay.
I would like to be in that type of position, because like I said, one of the biggest things for being an entrepreneur is like that. When I graduated, there were probably 50, I think, or so people in with my specific major, which is film and TV production. And out of the 50, there were like 12 or so when we graduated. It may have changed now, but 12 or so when we graduated that had jobs in the field. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's even fewer now that we're so far out.
That's funny you mentioned that. I couldn't tell you how many engineers, right? Brittany and I were both mechanical that graduated from Cal State Long Beach when we did. Aerospace, electrical, all the different engineers. It was hundreds. There's 2 in this house that aren't practicing engineers right now, though. we're contributing to that negative statistic, depending on your point of view. Yeah. Oh.
And there's nothing wrong with not doing it. It's if your passion changes, that's totally fine. Yeah. I want the people that want to be in it to know that there is an option to be in it.
Yeah. I think you're a shining example of being able to go do, like, you went out, got the job, did the thing, learned a bunch of things, situation happened, and then go, I can do this myself. I've learned enough. I know enough about marketing and sales and the video and editing and telling a story that I can go do it. And you've proven, you've given yourself proof of concept, essentially, that it is possible. Now it's about moving the pieces around on your pseudo chessboard to figure out how to get you to that 7-figure mark, right? And you mentioned the 7-figure mark. You mentioned having a couple people on retainer. Is there a certain number of clients that it takes to get you to that 7-figure mark, or is the the charge that you charge somebody, is it so varying that it's hard to put a number on that?
It's so hard to put a number on it, because if it's just me coming out to film something, it's a very different site than last week. I had a shoot with 5 people on it, and 5 including myself. The look is very different. The type of equipment that we all have. I had a very specific lighting person. I had a very specific camera operator. I had a specific audio engineer. I had a specific, well, not a specific, but I had a production assistant who kind of served everybody, but I had them focus on helping out the lighting guy so that he can move faster. And individually, we can all achieve a lot more with a larger crew. So it really depends on what that final product looks. I can do a lot on my own, but because it's myself, I just move a little bit slower. I won't be able to. I will miss things because my focus is so spread, and that can change a lot. But like I said, I can do it myself. I have a lot of my equipment. We're streaming on my cinema camera. I have a light in front of me. I have a light behind me. 2 stands. I have another light on the floor behind me that's just not on.
Okay.
Yeah, and then this is just some of my stuff. I have a home studio that I can film stand-ups. I filmed an online home organization course down in my home studio.
Okay.
It was perfect for the client. It fit within their budget, and like that was that.
Yeah. So you have a lot of different tools and a lot of different physical tools and mental tools for telling a story. Yeah.
And I've gotten to make enough mistakes and have things go wrong, like the camera not working.
Yeah.
That I've figured out a lot of what can go wrong and how to prepare for it.
Yeah.
And when it does go wrong, I've learned better questions to ask, which is how I was able to use the camera.
Yeah. So there's again a couple of things. There's like the failing and the figuring that, looking back at it as a learning opportunity and going, what do I take going forward? And then when a similar situation arises, I can make adjustments in the future. Right. And so like, geez, that's amazing. You mentioned yourself as I think you said cog in the wheel, right? As an obstruction to scaling. And for sure, entrepreneurs, we want to have our hands in the pot as much as possible, especially when we're starting out. But that's a tough mindset to break, is the who instead of the how. Like, I can go figure it out. And bringing somebody else in. Are there any other hurdles, roadblocks, obstacles in your way to that 7-figure that you've identified right now? Oh, let me preface this. I started networking with Nathaniel because when we're networking, a lot of the times we go, what do you have? What do you need? A lot of new people come in and say, how can I help you? Instead of asking what their struggles are and trying to figure out what they actually need. Because if I ask how I can help you, you go, I don't freaking know you, dude. I don't know what your skill sets are. I don't know what your experience is. I don't know how you can help me. Now you've just put something on my plate. So when I started networking with Nathaniel, it's going, let's learn about each other, more about the guest, of course, and see how I, through this conversation or the network of people that are listening now or in the future, could help you. So that being said, what roadblocks, what hurdles do you see getting in your way right now that maybe somebody, myself included, could help out with?
Right. I mean, honestly, right now, like I said, I'm the biggest cog in my system. I shoot most of it myself. I edit most of it myself. I need to delegate editing because that takes a lot of time. That is honestly the hardest part, because I could spend 2 full days editing and only editing. And that is time spent away from shooting, away from networking, away from building business. and I was I was lead video editor for an aftermarket automotive company for 3.5 years or so. And like, I'm happy to edit, but I know where my strengths lie, and I know that there are better editors out there, some of which I know. So
Yeah.
I'd rather be able to be like, hey, can you edit this for me? What's your rate? And then just build it into the system.
Yeah.
And then as I scale out, because a lot of people have 2 years, 3 years, 5 years kind of planned out. I know where I want to be in, how old am I now? 34. I know where I want to be in 21 years. I
Okay.
know what that end goal is. I
Yeah.
know I've started building back from that end goal, and I'm trying to kind of build out systems to get me there so that it's not just me being in the way. It's built out so that I can grow steadily, not earn 6 figures a month in 2 months like you see every ad for.
Yeah.
That's not
We'll
sustainable.
build it passively for you. You don't have to just charge us $7,000 and we'll build you $1 million business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know what my end goal is, and I've built back
Yeah.
what I need to do to get there.
Yeah.
So that has been, and I've only done that recently. That's been super helpful to kind of alleviate and notice those hindrances in the system that I want to build.
Sounds like you're maybe listening to some of the stuff we talk about in Fatherhood.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's super helpful in there.
This answer may have changed for you within the last 5 weeks or so. So I'm maybe going to ask it if you could go back 3 months maybe, and then answer it from today's perspective. Are there any things that you do, habits, if you will, on a daily or at least weekly basis that set you up for success as an entrepreneur?
The biggest thing for me, just in general, is mental clarity.
Mm.
And I notice differences in myself so 3 months ago, before baby had arrived, I worked out in the morning. I drank plenty of water. I meditated. I stretched. I read every day. I journaled every day. And the days that I didn't, so I would say like 80% of the time I did all that. And then the days I didn't, I just felt terrible or something was off.
Yeah.
And now with having the baby, I'm happy when I get to work out. That is usually my number one priority when I have free time. Maybe baby's napping, or my wife has her out in the garden or something like that. I'll go work out if I don't have anything else going on at the moment, just because it's very important. That at the base helps me feel physically and mentally better.
Yeah.
And then everything on top of that is just
Gravy.
gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just found my night light for my books so that I can read when the baby's gone to bed and I'm lying in bed, not asleep yet. I can read.
Yeah.
So I'm slowly building that back up.
Yeah. Like I said earlier on too, the changes are happening really quickly right now with the little one. And so you will be able to add those back in slowly over time here over the next few months. So I like that you have you have this huge list that really affects you, but you've picked out the largest one that moves your needle, at least from a clarity and energy standpoint. It's counterintuitive that if I go work out, I get more energy, because you go spend energy, but it does it. If I don't get my 12 to 15 minute hit my exercise in the morning, I notice it by 1 o'clock. I'm like a little, and it doesn't matter what I do. If I go sit down and read books with the kids before nap time. I think I just posted about this in the Fit Fatherhood group. It's like, it makes me sleepy no matter what. I'm reading a book that I've read 1,000 times to them. They got the warm bodies sitting on my lap. We're in the comfortable sliding chair. Just like, oh boy, okay, I got to get up. I got to go to.
It's a recipe for a nap yourself.
Yeah, that's right. I appreciate you, man. I know that. Oh yeah, the dog thing. We don't need to talk about that. The juggling the kids. Yeah, you're gonna iron things out here as she gets older, and not really independent, because that doesn't come for another year plus. But
Yeah.
The sleep patterns get more consistent. The feeding patterns will be more consistent. Your nighttime will be nighttime again for you. Yeah. So
I mean, we were lucky last night. She slept for like 5 hours, fed, and then slept for another 4 hours. I was like, that's great.
Yes. That will become more normal than more rare as time goes. What is the best way? Oh, our names are not here for some reason.
It's
Huh.
okay.
I don't know how to fix that, but
okay.
Is what it is. What is the best way for? There we go. My bad, everybody. You didn't know who we were this whole time. What's the best way for people to reach out to you if they are, interested in maybe your services as, video, photography, video, if maybe they know people that might be interested?
Sure. The best way to reach me is really through email, nate@shootingbreakproductions.com. Break is spelled BRAKE. A shooting brake is an early 1900s style wagon where people would go hunting together, they would go shooting together, and then it was kind of like a full event type of production. Now in the modern era, a shooting brake is like Aston Martin has a shooting brake, Ferrari has a shooting brake. It's a very luxury style station wagon, and I love station wagons. I have one myself. And I refuse to buy an SUV because I love station wagons so much. Yeah,
I'm so curious why though.
What's that?
I'm so curious why.
Why I love station wagons?
Yeah.
It's because they drive like a car and have the space of an SUV. When I was looking at cars for what I have now, I looked at the Mazda CX-5, which was a great SUV.
Yeah.
And I looked at the Volkswagen Tiguan and the Volkswagen Alltrack. The Alltrack that I currently have is the SUV. Spatially, my car has more space than either of those other two cars. My wife has the 2023 Subaru Forester, I think it is.
Okay.
My car has more space.
Interesting.
More cubic feet, but it drives like a car. You feel hunkered down low to the ground. It's maybe like a half-inch lower to the ground than an SUV, but it feels more connected to the drivetrain than an SUV, which is what I enjoy.
Yeah. Huh. We had I think I want to say it was like a 1990 Ford Taurus, and it was junk. It was a Ford Taurus wagon.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. But that was back in the fix or repair daily Ford days.
Yeah, the 90s era cars, the best cars were not in the US.
Right.
My neighbor imported a 1996 Mazda wagon, and it is beautiful. Yeah. It runs really well. And he just told me the other day that he's getting ready to sell it. And I'm like, can you hold on to it for like 5 more years and then I'll buy it from you?
It'll be a beautiful classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you. I got a couple questions that I ask every guest that comes on. I know we didn't get to kind of pre-frame you for these, but do you have any books that have pushed your needle as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a dad, or anything that you're just interested in?
The best book so far that I've read as a dad is called Brain Rules for Baby. Let's see, do I have it right here? Usually I do. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Yeah. Brain rules for baby. It's
Yes.
backwards, but how to raise a smart and happy child from 0 to 5. And that was recommended to me. I'm a big podcast listener. I'm not sure if you ever heard of Tim Ferriss and Tim
Oh
Ferriss.
yeah. Yeah.
His episode this year with Derek Sivers, he mentions how to reach out to him. So I followed that, reached out to him, and he recommended that book. I was like, all right, I'm going to read it. And I read it, and it, from the mental side of things, it kind of prepared me significantly on how to, like, the things that you see so simple. And even I was like, this all makes a lot of sense. But when you're going through it, it's hard to take that step back and look at it. It's like, oh, I see why this is now an issue.
Yeah.
But that having that kind of foresight has been super helpful in terms of how I want to view myself as a parent and how I hope I engage and act as a parent. When it comes to business, I mean, there are so many. Like, I have a stack of Tim Ferriss books right in front of me, and that may be like a cliche.
But my monitor is sitting on Tribe of Mentors, actually.
That is one of the books I have in front of me. Yeah, there's just so much out there that can be helpful. The hardest thing is finding what resonates with you. And
yeah, there's a lot of books that say the same thing differently. And if you read it in one book, it won't resonate, but somebody else says it just slightly differently and it'll resonate with you. That's why I listen to most of the books at this point. Gotcha. I like listening to so many. It's like, yeah, it's the same thing as this other book. Yeah, but he's going to say it a little, or they're going to say it a little differently. And maybe I pick out a piece. Maybe there's some component that I'm able to apply to it. I love the Brain Rules for Baby. There's a couple of those books that I think are really impactful. And like you're saying, is your kid's only 5 weeks old and you're reading a book about raising them to 5 years old. Well, I want to forecast some things in the future that I can be planting seeds in myself now. So when these things are coming up, I'm aware of them and I'm ready to handle them. So I think that's really awesome of you, really wise of you. When your time is done on this earth, Nate, and you're wherever you believe you go, what do you want to be remembered for by the people that you've left behind?
That's an excellent question. I would probably have to say, just if I can leave people wanting to help other people, not necessarily for how I make other people feel, but for how people that I've come in contact, how they're remembered by other people, if that makes sense. Because one of my wife's favorite quotes is from Gandhi: "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And that starts with you. You have that ability to change the world, but you get to change your world through every interaction that you have. And if I can change just one person a day, their world in a positive manner, that's great. Like, that's honestly all I care about.
Yeah. I think you're the first person that's come on here and said, so other people can impact other people.
That's
very cool.
That's how you have a lasting impact.
Yeah. It's a real, like, pay it forward in a sense. Just let it continue and let it ripple.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on. First, I don't want to say you're the first non-real estate investor because you grew up in this, but
I also had a license at one point.
Okay, yeah, see. Dang it. Yeah, any parting words from an outs, especially I think a lot of the people that watch this show live and in the future, they are real estate investors, but real estate investors, like you mentioned, are entrepreneurs, and we all are dealing with a lot of the same things from a emotional standpoint, the frustrations, the negative things, along with the positives. When you have those wins and you have those aha moments and you see the fruits of your labor, is there anything that you'd like to share that we haven't talked about already before we part ways?
There's a quote that I heard at the very beginning of this year, and I've been trying to internalize it throughout everything that I do, especially with being a new parent. And it's not hard because you're doing something wrong. It's hard because it's hard. And some things are just hard, and that's okay.
I'd say, and the things that are just hard, typically, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say typically are the ones that are worth doing, but sometimes that's not true.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's needlessly hard, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But like being a parent, a new parent, that's hard.
Yeah.
But that's not because it's meant to be easy. It's just hard.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming. I'm going to boot you off. If you have a few minutes to hang out so we could just talk off script a little bit.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Nate LaBrusciano. I'm going to just riff off of that last piece he said about parenting and about it being hard. It is hard, especially when you're fresh. And this is his first kid. And that is part of the reason why the Fit Fatherhood Facebook group exists. You heard me talking about it on the little advertisement at the beginning of the show, is that it's a space for us to talk about the hard and to celebrate in the hard, but the successes that come along with it. I've got a 4.5-year, well, he's not quite 4.5 years old yet, and a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old. But we've got people that have kids that have graduated high school and graduated college in there as well. So we're able to play on each other's experience and learn from each other and pass that down, just like Nate was talking about with the connecting people. That's what we're doing in the group, is connecting and solving each other's problems and uplifting and promoting each other together. It goes with parenting. It goes with real estate. It goes with building relationships. The more we can kind of come together, the bigger things, the bigger problems we can solve. Nate mentioned it. Ask better questions. As you grow as an entrepreneur, as you grow as a business owner, as you grow as a parent, as a husband, as a wife, whatever that is, you learn to ask better questions and solve bigger problems. And so that being said, shameless plug number 3, if you're counting the second Fit Fatherhood I just mentioned, is, it's not really a plug, but I have open office hours every Thursday, noon Eastern time, to help you get unstuck in your business. If that's something that you are struggling with, if you want to talk about issues, talk about how you take things to the next level, role play, seller, agent calls, whatever it is you're needing, come chat with me. It's open. It's an office. It's Zoom. It's free. I don't ask anything from you except to actually come and be engaged and be a part of the group. Noon Eastern time. If that's something you're interested in, shoot me a message, send me a message. I don't want to get banned by YouTube. And I'll get you the link to join that call. Until next week, appreciate y'all for being here.